So, Memorial Day, right? It's a day for solemn remembrance, for honoring the brave men and women who died in service to our country. It's also, as it happens, a darn good excuse for a picnic. When you think Memorial Day, you think burgers, hot dogs, water balloon fights. But hey, I'm not here to judge. After all, who am I to argue with tradition? Besides, there's something oddly fitting about combining a somber occasion with a celebration of life. It's like saying, we remember those who are gone, and we're going to live our lives to the fullest in their honor. Or maybe I'm just trying to justify my annual hot dog eating contest.
See, back in the 1860s, after the Civil War had ripped its way through the nation, folks were faced with a bit of a dilemma, namely what to do with all the graves. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of soldiers from both sides, laid to rest in hastily dug cemeteries across the country. So, communities did what they often do in times of grief. They came together. They began holding springtime tributes, decorating the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers and flags. They called it Decoration Day, and it was a way to honor the dead, to remember their sacrifice, and to maybe, just maybe, start to heal the wounds of war. Some folks point to Columbus, Mississippi, others to Boalsburg, Pennsylvania. Heck, there are even claims that it all started with a group of formerly enslaved people in Charleston, South Carolina. And you know what? They might all be right. Because here's the thing about history. It's messy. It's not always a straight line from point A to point B.
Fast forward a few decades, and Decoration Day had evolved. It was no longer just about decorating graves, although that remained a central part of the tradition. It had become a day for parades, for speeches, for community gatherings where folks could come together and remember. It was a time for veterans to share their stories, for families to connect with their history, and for kids to learn about the sacrifices made by those who came before them. And let's be real, it was also a chance for politicians to give long-winded speeches. But hey, even if those speeches went on a bit, there was a genuine sense of respect and gratitude in the air. It was a day when, for a brief moment, everyone seemed to be on the same page. A day when we remembered that beneath all the political bickering and ideological differences, we were all Americans, bound together by a shared history and a common purpose. It was a day to reflect, to remember, and to honor the sacrifices of those who gave everything for their country.
Now, I'm not saying that Memorial Day hasn't changed over the years. It has, in ways both big and small. For one thing, it's no longer officially called Decoration Day. In 1967, it was renamed Memorial Day, and the last Monday in May was designated as a federal holiday. This not only gave everyone a 3-day weekend, but also helped to solidify Memorial Day's place in the national consciousness. And as the years passed, the way we celebrate Memorial Day has continued to evolve. The parades might be a little smaller, the speeches a little shorter, but the underlying sentiment remains the same. It's a day to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, to honor their memory, and to reflect on the freedoms we often take for granted.
Because here's the thing about Memorial Day. It's not just about the past, it's about the present too. It's about remembering that there are still men and women out there right now, putting their lives on the line for our country. It's about honoring their service, their sacrifice, and their willingness to stand up for what they believe in, even when it means putting themselves in harm's way. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, to forget about the sacrifices being made on our behalf. It's easy to take our freedoms for granted, to assume that they'll always be there. But Memorial Day is a reminder that freedom isn't free. It comes at a cost, and that cost is borne by the brave men and women who wear the uniform. So, how do we honor that sacrifice? Well, we can start by remembering, by taking some time out of our busy schedules to reflect on the true meaning of Memorial Day. We can visit a local memorial, attend a parade, or simply take a moment of silence to remember those who gave all. But it's not just about remembering, it's about action. It's about supporting our veterans, both those who are currently serving and those who have returned home.
You see, honoring our veterans isn't just about parades and speeches, although those are important. It's about the everyday things too. It's about thanking a veteran for their service, even if you don't know them personally. It's about volunteering your time at a VA hospital or donating to a veterans charity. It's about acknowledging the sacrifices they've made and showing them that their service matters. And here's the thing. You don't have to wait until Memorial Day to do these things. Every day is an opportunity to show our veterans that we appreciate their service and sacrifice. Every day is an opportunity to make a difference in their lives.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I hear a hot dog calling my name. But before I go, I'll leave you with this thought. Memorial Day isn't just a day on the calendar, it's a state of mind. It's about remembering those who have served, honoring their sacrifice, and living our lives in a way that makes them proud. It's about carrying the torch of freedom forward, so that future generations can enjoy the same liberties that we often take for granted. So go ahead, enjoy that barbecue, relax by the pool, and soak up the sun. But as you do, take a moment to remember why we celebrate Memorial Day in the first place. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can know when I post more content for you. Bye for now and enjoy Memorial Day.